I never imagined I'd be sitting on a stiff hospital chair at 3 in the morning, staring at the pale green walls and feeling completely invisible. But here I was, phone trembling in my hand, still trying to convince myself that what had happened today wasn't real. It started innocently enough. I had been feeling off, just a little dizzy, a little nauseous. But by the time I realized my chest hurt in a way that wasn't normal, and my vision started blurring, I knew I couldn't wait. I called a cab and told the driver to go straight to the nearest ER. Before we continue, please subscribe to the channel and tell us where you are listening. Your support means everything. By the time I walked into the emergency room, I could barely keep my balance. I sank into a chair in the waiting area, clutching my stomach like it was the only thing keeping me anchored. My phone buzzed in my pocket, and I knew exactly who it was before I even looked up. Mom, are you okay? Dad, call us immediately. I stared at the screen, chest tightening, and my hands shook as I typed back, I'm in the emergency room. Please, come. Then I waited. And the reply that came back froze my blood. Don't bother us right now. We're busy. I remember staring at the words over and over, hoping my eyes were deceiving me. Busy? Busy? I was in the emergency room, feeling like I might pass out at any moment. And they were busy. I felt something inside me crack. I wanted to scream, to collapse right there on the floor, to make them understand what it was like to feel completely unprotected. But I didn't. Instead, I swallowed the lump in my throat and tried again. I think it might be serious. Please. We can't. Don't worry about it. Figure it out yourself. It was like someone had ripped the ground from under me. For a split second, I felt completely alone in the world. Like nothing I had ever done for them mattered. Like all the nights I stayed up with homework, or the weekends I skipped plans to help around the house didn't exist. I set my phone down. My hands were shaking so badly that I almost dropped it. I could hear the murmur of nurses and the occasional beep of machines. But everything felt distant, muffled, like I was underwater. I hated myself for even feeling hurt. Shouldn't I just deal with it? I'd been raised to deal with it. But this time, I couldn't. That's when a nurse noticed me. Hey, she said softly, kneeling down beside my chair. Are you okay? I think I'm having chest pains, I stammered. And dizziness. I don't know what's happening. She nodded, taking my hand gently. Let's get you checked right away. Can you stand? I shook my head. She helped me to the bed, hooked up in 4, and ran a battery of tests. The hours blurred into a haze of fluorescent lights, murmured conversations, and the metallic taste of fear that lingered on my tongue. When the doctor finally came in, I held my breath. Your blood pressure is low, and you're severely dehydrated, she said gently. We also found some irregularities with your heart rhythm. You're stable now, but it could have gotten dangerous. My stomach dropped. So, it was serious. I whispered. Yes. You need rest and monitoring for the next 24 hours. I sank back into the bed, feeling a strange mix of relief and dread. My parents weren't here. They hadn't even made a phone call. And for some reason, that hurt more than the physical pain I was in. Hours passed. The waiting room emptied and refilled. I drifted in and out of a dozing panic, texting my closest friend, Sarah. Me. Sarah, I'm in the E. Something's wrong. Sarah, oh my God, are you okay? Where are you? Me. St. Mary's. Parents won't come. Said they're busy. Sarah, what? I'm leaving now. She arrived within 20 minutes, breathless and wide-eyed. She grabbed my hand and refused to let go. Like somehow my physical presence needed to be anchored to someone else's. "Don't worry," she said. "I'm not leaving. We'll get through this." And for the first time that night, I felt a little safe. The rest of the evening was a blur. Ives, heart monitors, hospital food I couldn't touch, and Sarah sitting in the uncomfortable chair beside me, scrolling her phone silently but always there. My parents never called. Not once. I cried into my pillow at one point, frustrated, exhausted, and furious all at once. It wasn't until early morning, when the hallways were quiet and the janitor was pushing a mop in slow circles, that my phone buzzed again. This time it was my dad. "Dad. Heard from Sarah. Everything okay?" I didn't reply immediately. I just stared at the screen, furious. But then, after a few long minutes, I typed, "I'm still here. Heart issues. Dehydrated. Could have been serious. You ignored my texts." There was a pause, then "Dad. Will come. Leaving now." I felt a strange mix of relief and anger. I didn't want to forgive them immediately. I just wanted them to see me, to acknowledge what it felt like to be in the exact position they should have protected me. When they finally arrived, bleary-eyed and apologetic, I was still on the foredrip. My mom reached out to touch my hand. "We didn't realize," she started, voice cracking. "You didn't realize," I said softly, my voice almost breaking, "that your daughter could have been in serious trouble and you didn't care." It wasn't exactly forgiving, but it was the truth. The next few hours were awkward, quiet, and tense, but slowly something shifted. My mom held my hand through vitals checks. My dad asked the nurse questions, trying to understand what had happened. They were clumsy, unsure, but present. And somehow, that was enough. By the time they wheeled me out of the hospital, sunlight spilling across the parking lot, I realized that my life hadn't been ruined by the night's events. It had been clarified. I knew exactly what I could depend on, and who would truly be there. And maybe that clarity was worth the pain. I looked at my parents as we drove home. "I needed you," I said quietly. "I know," my mom whispered. "We'll do better. We're sorry." I didn't respond immediately. I just let the words hang between us. And for the first time in years, it felt like something had shifted. Sarah stayed behind as we pulled into the driveway, waving and smiling awkwardly. "See? You're going to survive this," she said. And I believed her, because for the first time I realized that even when people let you down, life finds a way to hand you the people who won't. And sometimes that's enough.